I'm going to try to get through as many homework problems as I can because we need to finish this section. We done spent too much time on it. But it's important because you need to be able to take the derivatives so you can understand the antiderivatives. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start with 2.3, number 21/16. 2.3, 21/16. And here we go. Okay, find the equation. Excuse me. Yawn. Find the equation of the line tangent to the graph of, I'll write it down. Find the equation of the line tangent to f of x is equal to natural log of x raised to the 5th power at x is equal to 6. I actually like this question. It's a good test question also. Why do I like it? Because it uses what you know of algebra and calculus at the same time. Well, first of all, we got to get an x and a y, because in order to find anything having to do with the tangent line, after we find the derivative, you've got to have an x and a y. So with that being said, 6, comma, and we're going to plug 6 into that natural log. So natural log of 6 raised to the 5th power. So natural log of 6 raised to the 6th power, or 5th power. I got 18. Yeah, I guess that'd be right, because 2 to the 5th power is equal to 32, so that'd be close. I got 18.5. What'd y'all get? That means I want somebody to say something back. Oh, we're going to play this game today. All right, we'll just sit here and it'll cut into y'all's times with homework questions, because I can sit here all day. Somebody plug 6 into the natural log of x to the 5th power and tell me if you got 18.5. Do y'all not have a calculator?
I got it.
Good. Did you get 18.5?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, so we got our algebraic points, and we've got our algebraic equation, so now we just need to take the derivative. So that's going to be, I'll go down here and do f of x is equal to natural log of x raised to the 5th power, so we're going to use the chain rule. So f prime of x is equal to 5 natural log of x to the 4th times 1 over x. And that's going to be f prime of x is equal to all of this over x. 5 natural log of x to the 4th power over x. That is the derivative. And this is our x, so we got to find the slope so we can plug it into the point slope equation. So plug that 6 in to get our slope. So slope is going to be equal to f prime of 6, which is going to be 5 natural log of 6 raised to the 4th power over 6. So now I'm going to go to the handy dandy calculator, and I'm going to do clear and clear. Natural log of 6, natural log of 6, close parentheses, raised to the 4th power times 5 divided by 6. So my slope is equal to 8.59. And somebody check that to make sure that I punch the right numbers in, please. Pretty please.
That's what I got.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so what do we got? Well, we've got the slope of the line. We've got a point. We can use the point slope what? Point slope equation, Hubert. That's right, class. So our point is 6 and 18.5. Our slope is equal to 8.59. Therefore, y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Y minus bracket or parentheses equals parentheses times bracket x minus parentheses close bracket. And y, this is x sub 1, this is y sub 1. So plug and what? Plug and chug. I want y'all to do that. If you can't, then that pretty much means you're a failure. Algebraically and with calculus. The reason I'm not doing my video today is because since y'all don't do y'all's video, I'm not going to do mine.
Hubert, I have a question about the homework.
Uh-oh. As long as it's not extending it, that's fine. What?
Oh, it's not extended. I missed the
Okay.
deadline for the chapter 2 skills check quiz, and now
Uh-huh.
I can't access any of my unit 2 homework.
Okay. Well, I'll look at that. Just see me after class.
All right, yes, sir.
Okay, so plug and chug. Y minus 18.5 is equal to 8.59 times x minus 6. Y minus 18.5 equals 8.59x. Somebody multiply 8.59 times 6 for me. 45 point.
I got 51.54.
What did I get? 45.54. What'd you get?
51.54.
I'm sorry, 51.54. And add 18.5 to negative 5154, please. It's going to be negative. What is negative 51.54 plus 18.5? What does that come out to be, please?
I got negative 33.04.
Can somebody else verify that? So I have two people. Y'all are in a very, very non-helping mood today. Thank you very much. 51.54. Don't say nothing now. I'm doing it now. Plus 18.5. All I need to do is somebody say confirm. But hell no. That would go against the creed of the weaned on a pickle, right? All right. So that is our equation of our tangent line at 6 and 18.5. So that should be. Now, I probably didn't round according to what they want to round to. So let's see what we got as far as the answer goes. I'm going to type in what I got. Let's see. Okay, they just want the equation. It says rounded 2 decimal places. I don't think I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. I hope I did. I got y is equal to 8.59x minus 33.04. And I know it's probably right, but if I didn't round correctly, that would be the only reason it would be wrong. Let's see what they got. 8.59x minus 33.07. Now, in this case, I would probably give you, if this was a test question and you got 0.07, I would probably give that to you. Did anybody get 0.07? Nobody's going to say anything, but anyway, I'm not going to answer any questions since nobody's going to say anything. I'm just going to keep on going. All right, next. And that takes care. Miss Holcomb, did that help you out? Or Miss Holcomb's not even talking. She must be sick. Miss Holcomb, you there? Wow.
She's talking in the text.
Oh,
She said yes.
okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Everybody got 33.04. I don't understand how they got 33.07 unless they, I don't know. But I would count that correct. You did 99% of the problem correct. So I wouldn't count it wrong because of that one little hundredth or 200ths. All right. 2.2. Something wrong with your microphone, Miss Holcomb, or you just don't want to click it on? 2.2, number 66/16. 2.2, 66/16. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. And here we go. Find an equation of the line, same thing, tangent to the graph, but they give you a y here, so we don't have to type in the yx. So g of x is equal to 4e to the negative 3x, and they want to know at 0,4 what the equation is. So this is the same type problem as we just done, only this one they give you the y, so you don't have to calculate it. So we still have to find the first derivative. So g prime of x is going to be equal to 4e to the negative 3x times negative 3. And that's basically the chain rule with e to the x. And that's going to be negative 12 e to the negative 3x. Now, I don't know if they want us to go step by step. Let me look back and see. Nope, they just want us to do it. So, okay, so now we've got to find g prime, find the slope, g prime of 0. Okay, because that's our x. So equals negative 12 times e to the negative 3 times 0. And that's going to be negative 12 e to the 0. And what's anything to the 0 power?
1.
1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So m is equal to negative 12. All right, now I want y'all to plug it in. Go ahead and plug it in. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. And this is your x sub 1, this is your y sub 1, plug and chug, and let's finish it. Miss Babinow done finished it. Hot dog. You're a winner, Miss Babinow. You're going to have a nice office one day. And you're going to communicate with your coworkers, and everybody's going to be happy. Versus the winged on a pickle introverts that don't talk.
Hey, man,
So
I'm working
y
on it.
minus 4 is equal to negative 12 times x minus 0. And of course, that's going to be negative 12 plus 0. And bring this over, that's going to be y dot dot dot. Y is equal to negative 12x plus 4, I think. I think that's what you got also, Ms. Babinow. Negative 12x plus 4. These two are two good test questions. I like these. Negative 12x. Somebody tell me why I like these questions. Because y'all don't know how to do them. Why do I like these?
Because we're
They're
working
short and
calculus
sweet.
and algebra.
Short and sweet, yes. But that's not why I like these. I like these because what is this right here? Well, what have I got circled in pink? What is that?
That's calculus.
And then what do I have circled in orange?
That's our algebra.
That's why I like this problem. Do you know why people like to look at math and science grades? Because you can't regurgitate math. If you try to regurgitate, you're not going to be able, especially when you get into upper level mathematics like calculus, you can't just regurgitate and forget about your algebra. You can't do it. That's why people look at math grades when they're accepting you into college, even though they don't say they are. Because as one person said, math is racist. I'm not going to go there, but that was actually said in the national media. I can take you to the article. It says we need to do away with math because math is racist. So is Pepe Le Pew. All right. 4.2, or Ms. Holcomb, I hope that helped you out. 2.247, number 16. 2.247/16. And that is this. Find an equation of the line tangent to, okay, this is the same type, it's just a different number. So you got 3 of these in your notes. Okay, g of x is equal to, is this the same question?
This is the same question.
What? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we just did that one. I'm sorry. 47/14. Okay, I was on the 47. I just accidentally clicked on it, I guess. Let's try this one. 47/14. Okay. Not a favorite of mine as far as a test question. And the reason is, what is the first thing you think about doing when you see this question? Honestly. Okay, nobody's going to say anything. Y'all are about as much fun as a wet noodle. So go ahead and write down the question. Give up, exactly. Before you even start this question, you think about going to the next question. Why? Because it presents itself as being what? Complicated, and it's not. But I don't like this as a test question because it would discourage you from even trying it. Okay, a company costs blah, 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 blah. C of T is equal to 120 minus 40 e to the negative t, where t is time, of course, and C of t is cost. So cost is equal to 120 minus 40 e to the negative years. That's basically what they're saying. Now, as far as the calculus is not that difficult. You got calculus with A, you plug and chug with B and C, and then subjective / what does it mean with D. So it's not too bad. Let's go back. Let's see. A, they want you to find C prime of T. B, they want you to do C prime of 0, don't they? Yep. And C prime of 4. And D is find the limit. D, find the limit as t approaches infinity with the regular function and the derivative, with f of x and f prime of x. I'm just writing f prime of x so I remember what the question's asking. I don't care about C of t and all that. All right, so here is our question. And it just reset itself, so I don't know why it did that. Damn Russians. There we go. Okay, so here we go. C prime of t, well, C of t is equal to 120 minus 40 e to the negative t. So C prime of t would be 0 minus, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do the derivative. So that's going to be 40 e to the negative t. And what is the derivative of negative t? Negative 1, Hubert. And that's going to give me 0 minus negative 40 e to the negative t. And that gives me what? What's 0 minus a negative? 40e to the negative t. Okay, now I want you to plug and chug 0 and 4 into that function, please. And while you're doing that, I've got to get something to drink. Legally, something to drink. Okay. So this is pretty easy. 40 e to the negative 0 is 40. 40 e to the negative 4, well, that's going to be 40 divided by e to the 4th. I don't know what that is, so let's look and see. 40, let's clear and clear. 40 divided by e, that's alpha, e to the 4th, 0.7326, 0.7326. So let's go back to our handy dandy question. And that's where, yeah, you got to multiply it by 1,000. So 40 million, that's 40. So you type in 40 right there. And 733,000 because you got to move the decimal 3 places to the right because it's in thousands. Okay? So we got those 2 right. So now let's look at the last one. And for those of you that's wondering, you move the decimal right here, move 3 places to the right because the question is in thousands. So 1, 2, 3, 732,600, which would be 733,000. And this is thousands, so that'd be 40 million or 4 million or 40 million, whichever one they said, just put 40. So this is your answer there. All right, now I'm going to do this on the next page. Okay. My Wi-Fi has kicked me out already. I think I've already got you, Mr. Wood. The only one, yeah, you've already been in, so if you forget anything or if you have to leave, just go back to the Teams video, which is on the page that you join, or you can go to YouTube and find it there. Okay. All right. So this is the next page. Limit as t approaches infinity of the function 120 minus 40 e to the negative t, and then the limit as t approaches infinity of the function negative 40, this is c prime, 40 e to to the negative t, or 40 over e to the t. And technically you could do that up here, or 120 minus 40 over e to the t. Well, when you plug when you plug infinity into this, somebody tell me what happens to the fraction. This is just common sense. If you plug infinity into e to the infinity right here, what happens to this fraction?
Does it approach 0?
It approaches 0. So let's take our handy dandy red marker and let's cancel this out to 0. So 120 minus 0 is equal to what? $120. So basically, you are approaching 120 million bucks. And what happens here? Well, if you plug in infinity, what happens to this? It goes to what? 0. So this is 0 change, because rate of change is slope. Rate of change is equal to slope. So if I get a slope of 0, that means that I don't have any what? Change. So this, whatever we're talking about, is going to be approaching $120 million, and it's not going to change. It's going to stay steady. And that's basically what that tells you. $120 million. And how is it going to change? $0 per year. Now, let me ask you a question now that I went through it. How difficult is this problem on a scale from 1 to 10?
Probably 5. It's not that
I would
bad.
say it's probably around a 3 or a 4. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, what is this? The derivative, plug and chug, and then do the limits. So, you know, some of you may say a 5. That's fine. I'll give you a 5, but I wouldn't put it much more past. I wouldn't put it past 5. Let me ask you that. Will you quit on it now that you see that it's a little bit easier than you thought?
No.
No.
Good. I don't want to have a bunch of quitters. I don't want to have a bunch of winged on the pickles, but I'm still getting them. All right. Let's see. I don't think I have another one of those. Let's see. Nope. That's only number 47 we got. Ms. Jalkowski, I hope that worked out for you. Does that help you out a little bit? Okay. All right. 2.2. We got several 36s right here. 36/13. 2.2, 36/16. 2.2, 36/13. And click on it. All right, I like doing first and second derivatives. I love these. So W is equal to 3z squared times e to the z. Okay. Ms. Jalkowski, is your microphone not working also? I'm just going to turn my microphone off and say it's not working. What y'all think? Y'all think I can do that?
I'll teach Hubert.
Okay, you go ahead. No, don't. I don't want anybody because I can't do something like that. If I do something like that, by the time class is over, I'll get a phone call from my department head saying, Hubert, you letting your class teach? You letting a student teach your class? I swear. I told y'all about Masalama, right? Well, now I'm adding Allah Akbar to Masalama. I just figure I'll stir it up a little bit more. God, people need a sense of humor. Mr. Wiggins, was that a laugh?
Yeah.
Well, since I'm going to be a
Careful
terrorist,
nowadays
since
what you laugh at.
since I'm an NRA member and a veteran, and I live in the South, I might as well just say I'm a terrorist, you know. So
Doesn't it just mean God is great?
that's all it means.
Yeah.
But the person that complained about me, that said that I was making fun of the Middle East, they didn't even know that Masalama stood for walk in peace or go in peace. So they were just complaining. They were just, Hubert, you were told, we've been told that you were making fun of people from the Middle East. I laughed. I said, no, I'm not making fun of people from the Middle East. Oh my God.
Some people are
Pew,
so
pew,
soft.
pew. Dr. Seuss. And what's the little mouse? What's the little cartoon mouse that
Jerry?
runs fast?
Yeah, that's
Tom.
Jerry.
Huh?
That's
Tom and Jerry.
Jerry.
No, the little mouse that runs fast that goes underlay, underlay. They took him off.
Pepe? Nah.
I can't remember his name. Speedy Gonzalez or Speedy something. Anyway, but that's all right. That leaves more time for my son to burn prostitutes and Grand Theft Auto. And maybe to watch what's her name? Cardi B?
Well, you ain't wrong.
WAP? Yeah. It leaves more time for my son to do more wholesome things. Dumbasses. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to put a multiplication symbol right here. And my first derivative, W prime, is going to be equal to first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. And that's going to be W prime is equal to 3z squared. What is the derivative of e to the z? E to the z, Hubert. Thank you, class. Plus e to the z times what?
6z.
There you go. Now, if you want to arrange that into, you know, the z's first, you can do that. I would not factor out, although you can. And I'll show you that in just a minute. So my final answer for the first derivative is 3z squared e to the z plus 6z e to the z. And you could actually factor out. I'm going to factor out a 3z. Is everybody okay with that? 3z e to the z. And that's going to leave what? Z plus 2. Now that's the first derivative. Now you're going to have to use the product rule here and the product rule here, or you could use the product rule here, and then after you do that, use the product rule between what you get here and here. Either way, you're going to have to do a lot. Yeah, Speedy Gonzalez. That's what I thought his name was. Anyway, they're gone. Dr. Seuss, Speedy Gonzalez, and Hippie LePew. They're gone. But like I said, we still have Grand Theft Auto and Cardi B. All right, 3z e to the z. Z plus 2. So I'm going to do this one. You can do that one if you want to, but I'm going to do this one. So we're going to take this one over to the next page. So W prime is equal to 3z squared times e to the z plus 6z times e to the z. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first plus the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. W double prime 3z squared times e to the z plus e to the z times what? 6z plus 6z e to the z. Oops, that's supposed to be pink. Plus e to the z plus e to the z times
We can't see
what?
you.
Sorry. 6. Let's see. I'm looking to see. It looks like to me there's a couple of places you can, I believe you can add these two together. Yeah. So I'm going to put them in order. 3z squared e to the z plus 6z e to the z plus 6z e to the z plus 6e to the z. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I believe you can put these two together. And that will give me W prime, double prime, 3z squared e to the z plus 12z e to the z plus 6e to the z. Now, you could factor out a 3z e to the z. And that will leave you with z plus 4. No, you can't factor out a z right here, so just forget it. You could factor out an e to the z, 3e to the z. I would say that's probably your answer. Let's go type it in and see what we get. I like this. This is a good test question. Let's go with 3z shift up squared e shift up z plus 12 z e shift up z plus 6 e to the z, and pray. Yay! We are special. And you feel good about yourself. Does that help? Whoever asked that one. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Let's see. Ooh, that knocked out 3. Miss Holcomb, Miss Babinow, we good, or you want me to do another one? We can do Miss Holcomb's if you want to. You want to do another one, or you want to move on? Okay, Miss Holcomb said okay, so we're gonna move on because nobody else is gonna say a damn thing. So we'll move on. Thank you, Miss Holcomb. All right, this is 2.211/9. 2.211/9. Okay, find the derivative. So this looks like basically the product rule, just a long ass product rule. So 12x squared minus 24x plus 24 times e to the x. And they want to know what is f prime of x. All right, I'm going to give y'all a second or a few seconds to work on the product rule. And here is your product right there. So that would be first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. So go ahead and write that up and see how far you can get. And if you can't do it, then we'll just go ahead and fill out the drop slip paperwork. Go ahead and get rid of you. What do y'all think? That way you don't have to study calculus anymore. You can drop down to a underwater firefighting degree or underwater basket weaving and, you know, make bad decisions and end up with a job that can't pay the phone bill. And not a single comment. Good, thank you. I hope y'all don't do this on dates. Miss Holcomb, when you go on a date, do you do this? Not talk to people? Just, I hope you don't. Good gosh. And nobody. Yep, I just stare at them and the whole time saying a word. Don't forget, you just want water and salad. Don't forget that too. Oh no, I'll just drink water and a salad. Oh. And you don't lie either, do you? All right. There you go. Burger girl. Steak and taters. All right. So first, times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. So 12x squared minus 24x plus 24 times e to the x. Plus e to the x times, so what is 12x squared derivative? 24x minus 24 plus 0. And since these are combining like terms with the plus, what happens to the 24x?
They cancel.
What happens to the 24s?
Cancel.
So we're left with, it looks like we're left with 12x squared e to the x plus e to the x. Something like that. I think that's what we got. Let's see what they get for an answer. You could factor out an e to the x. I'm just going to put a 3 here. They got 12x squared e to the x. Where does, oh, I see. If I take this, yeah, then e to the x times 0 is e to the x. That e to the x and that 0 cancels. So you're left with 12x squared e to the x. My bad. The e to the x times 0 is 0. That goes out. So you're left with 12x squared e to the x. Actually, you could distribute, and I didn't do that. So 12x squared e to the x minus 24x e to the x plus 24 e to the x plus 12x squared e to the x minus 24x e to the x plus 24 e to the x. And that goes to 0 when you do the derivative. But here, 24x e to the x, that goes out. 24 e to the x goes out. And 12x e to the x, 12x squared e to the x. Wait a minute. I'm just looking. Why am I not getting, oh. Yeah, I didn't take the derivative. I should have took the derivative here. I'm sorry. Here's where the 24, my bad. So that would be 12x squared e to the x plus minus 24x e to the x plus 24 e to the x minus 24x e to the x minus 24 e to the x plus 0. And now there's where they cancel. So 24x e to the x, 24, there we go. And you're left with 0. So there's several different ways you could do it, but you'll still get the answer right there. That's a good question. I believe it's a little bit long for a test question, for one single test question, but it could be a test question. So hopefully that'll help whoever sent that one. Ms. Holcomb, hope that helps. 2.1 9/14. 2.1 9/14. 2.1 9/14. An initial investment P, annual interest rate, time given, find the value. Okay. Is 2.1, isn't that review algebra? So A is equal to P 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. And P is equal to 3,500. R is equal to 0.0275. N is monthly payments. I'm looking to see, I don't see anything to take away from monthly payments. So N is equal to 12. And T, how many years? 4 years. Does it say compounded annually and monthly and continuously? God, these are three separate test questions. All right, so we'll do first, N is equal to annually, N is equal to 1, then monthly, N is equal to 12, and then P PERT, that is the continuously. Daily, 365, and then PERT is continuous, and we'll do that one separately. So there's 4 test questions on this question. All right, there's the formula, and we're going to do 35.02 at 1, 35.02 at 12, 35.02 at 365, and 35 at 0.02 with the PERT, which is the continuous interest. So I'm going to do 4 different problems. Here we go. A is equal to P, 3,500, times 1 plus 0.0275 divided by 1 raised to the 1 times 4 power. Okay, and go ahead and be putting that in your calculator. I'll write the second one down. And what I'm doing, since they asked for annual, which means 1 time a year, that goes there and that goes there. So that's the first question. The second question, and this is A, that N is equal to 1. The second one is A, N is equal to 12, which means they do it monthly. They compound the interest monthly. 1 plus 0.0275 divided by 12. 12 times 4. And that comes from the bank compounds the interest monthly. And that's the second question. And then the third question is going to be A, where N is equal to 365, which banks don't do this anymore. 3,500, 1 plus 0.0275 divided by 365, and 365 multiplied by 4. And that comes from the bank compounding at every day. At the end of every day, they compound your interest. It would be nice if the bank still did that, but they don't. And the last one is continuous interest. A is equal to PERT, which is equal to 3,500 E to the 0.0275 times 4. And that's continuous interest. So, calculator, you got 4 good test questions right here. So take your handy dandy calculator, and we're going to do the first one. I'm going to clear everything. All right, 0.027, well, 0.0275 divided by 1 is 0.0275, plus 1 is 1.0275, and we're going to raise that to the 4th power. 1 times 4 is 4, and multiply that by 3,500. So if you just compounded once a year, you would get 3901.17. So you made $401.17. Just leaving it in for 1 year, compounded yearly. The second one,
You have a work email.
we're going to take 0.0275, and we're going to divide that by 12. Add that to 1, and raise that to the 48th power. And multiply that by 3,500. So at the end of 4 years, you will have 3906.48. So instead of earning $401, you've earned $406. So let's do 365. So clear, clear. And we're going to do 0.0275. That's supposed to be clear. Sorry. 0.0275 divided by 365 plus 1. And we're going to raise that to the parentheses 365 times 4. And enter. And multiply that by 3,500. 3906.96. 3906.96. And now let's do continuous. So that's going to be clear. Let's do clear here and clear here. So I'm going to take E, second E, and raise it to the 0.0275, parentheses, 0.0275 times 4. And multiply that by 3,500. 3906.97. And what they're trying to get you to understand here is what? What are they trying to get you to understand?
I'm not sure.
That means I want somebody to say something.
I'm not too sure.
What?
See, I'm not too sure.
Okay, look at these. Look at these totals. What can you tell me about those totals? There's not much what?
Not much difference.
There's not much difference. That's what they're trying to get you to see. There's not much difference between the totals. Now, there's a $5 difference right there, but it doesn't matter whether you do compounded yearly, compounded monthly, compounded daily, which they don't do that anymore, or continuous. You get the same amount of money at the end of what? 4 years. It's too many Tide Pods for y'all. Y'all need to quit eating them Tide Pods. And nothing. I'll just have a salad and water.
All right, we'll quit eating Tide Pods if you quit hitting women.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that what my generation did?
Yep, y'all are supposed to hate your wives.
No, we partied. We were the 80s, man. The 80s is right next to the 60s. The greatest decade ever next to the 60s. So I'm sorry, but there hadn't been another, since the 60s and the 80s, there hasn't been a greatest decade of music, movies, everything, TV shows, everything.
That is true.
I mean, it is. It's true. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another, well, let's see if our answers are correct. The first one I got was 3901.17. The second one I got was 3906.48. Actually, I can go to heaven and be at St. Peter's gates, and I can honestly say two things that you cannot convict me of. Three things. And the first one is I've never hit a woman. So we won't talk about the other two, but I can guarantee you I ain't never done it. All right, next one is 3906.96. I may have got 97 on that one, so I'm going to put 96. Yep. And the last one is 3906.97. So if somebody were to ask you which is the best, you would say continuous. Now, I hate this. I hate this part. Find the doubling time for the given interest rate. Double time means that you're doubling it. All right. And the best way to show you, they're going to double the T. Let me show you so I don't have to write it. Which is this, E? If we ever get there. There. Okay. And the way they do that is by using the natural log of 2 over R. Okay, that's the formula, so you might want to write that down. The exponential growth rate expressed as a decimal and doubling time T are related by this formula. So write that down. Of course, they didn't give it to you in the question. They should have told you in the question, T is equal to natural log of 2 over R. That's why I was giving it to you through the explain this, because it's better than me trying to go find it and cut it out. And all right, so it's T is equal to the natural log of 2 over R. And you would punch that in, you'd put, then there's your new T right there, doubling the time. Okay. So in this case, the interest rate would double after 16.31 years. Doubling time. So punch the R in there and get 16.31 years. I don't really care about that, but they care about it. So natural log of 2 over R. So in this case, natural log of 2, let me get my handy dandy. Natural log of 2 enter, divided by point what? 0275. $25.21. 25.21. 25.21. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Oh, I was watching Bar Rescue last night. Speaking of don't beat your wife, there was a bar owner, and he already knew everything, and he said that he would not hire a woman bartender because they were stupid. My God, man, that's what you would want behind the bar is women. These guys, I ain't kidding you. I don't see how they. Anyway, okay, Babineau, Joukowsky, and Abrams. Is that good? Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to move on, try to get as many as I can. Let's see, I've got a few more to go. 2.18/29. 2.18/29. And this is review, so I have no idea what it is. Let's see, this is, okay, a cup of coffee placed on a counter, cool, place given by the following formula. What was the original temperature of the hot coffee? How can the original temperature of the hot coffee be found? Well, it says a cup of placed on a counter and allowed to cool. So T of T, the temperature in degrees Celsius, I'm looking right quick, of the coffee T minutes after it's placed on the counter is given by complete parts A through D. So you would put 0 in for T because 0 means that it's been there for how many seconds? 0 seconds, meaning that you just put it on the stove or on the counter, I would assume. So in this case, I'm going to move this over a little bit, and I'm going to say T of T is equal to 15 plus 50 e to the negative 0.019 t. And T of 0, which would mean you just put it on the counter, is equal to 15 plus 50 e to the negative 0.019 times 0. And that would be 15 plus 50 times 1, because that would go to what? E to the what? 0, which is 1. And that would be 65. Now, I don't think that's possible because you are not going to get something that 65, that's warm. So I don't think you're going to be able to get the original temperature. Huh?
I was just saying it was in Celsius.
Oh, Celsius. Okay. So that would be T of 0. Thank you. Evaluate at T of 0. And 65 degrees Celsius. And what does it say now? What is the coffee's temperature after 23 minutes? So this is B. So this is A. B, you would just type it in, plug and chug. So in this case, 23 minutes would be T of 23 minutes is equal to 15 plus 50 e to the negative 0.019 times 23. And that's going to be 15 plus 50 times, and we're going to take our handy dandy calculator, and we're going to do clear, and I'm going to type in second E, and that's going to be negative parentheses, negative 0.019 times 23. Close parenthesis, enter. 0.64597 times 50 plus 15. So after 23 minutes, the coffee is at, after 23 minutes, that's equal to 47 degrees Celsius. I don't know how they're going to round 42.2985. 47.2985. So let's see how they want to round it. Evaluate T of 23. And that's going to be, what does it say round to? 1 decimal place, 47.3. And that's basically how you do it. I'm not going to do every one of them. Wait a minute, this one, how can the time when the coffee's temperature, when will the coffee's temperature reach 34 degrees Celsius? Well, there you're going to set y equal to 34. So I'll start this one for you. So that's going to be T of T is equal to 15 plus 50 e to the negative 0.019 t. And they want to know when is it going to be 34 degrees? How many minutes will it take for the drink or whatever it is to get to 34 degrees? Minus 15. Well, that's going to be what, 19? Somebody help me out. Somebody check my math, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all suck. Divide by 50. And I have no idea, so I'm going to take 19 divided by 50 because y'all ain't going to help me. I appreciate it, Miss Holcomb. Thank you. 19 divided by 50. 0.38. Thank you, Miss Holcomb. Equals e to the negative 0.019 t. Now, at this point, you got the definition of a logarithm. So if you was to change this to 0.38 and change that to log base, well, you could take the natural log of both sides. Natural log is equal to the natural log of e to the negative 0.019 t. Then what happens to the natural log of e? Somebody tell me what I told you happened to that. And we did one like this. So what happens to the natural log of e? What happens? Nobody. Thank you, Miss Holcomb. Thank you very much. Natural log of 0.38 is equal to negative 0.019 t divide by negative 0.019, divide by negative 0.019. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator and I'm going to clear. And I'm going to do natural log of 38.38, natural log of 0.38 divided by negative 0.019. I guess that's right. I get negative 85, and I don't think that's right. 85 minutes. So let's see. T is equal to negative 85.4199. We just get the variable as our answer. What do you mean? You still got to divide, or we just get the exponent as the answer. How did y'all get 50.92? Did I count? Did I do it wrong? Natural log of 0.38. I don't know what that is up there. Forget
That was
it.
that was an answer for an earlier question you asked.
Let me check it though. Natural log of 0.38. Oh man, I think I might as well just quit for today. Natural log of 0.38, close parentheses, equals negative. Now I got negative 0.96. That would make sense because it come out to be positive. Divided by negative 0.019. Now y'all can check me. That's better. And that's why you got 50.92. Thank you, Miss Holcomb. So 50.92, which is equal to 52 minutes, 51 minutes. So it takes 51 minutes, close to an hour, for it to drop down to 34 degrees. 50.93. 50.93. Well, I don't think, no, that's not right. That'd be 34. And then they're going to ask for the answer. They want you to round it to one decimal place. So that'd be 50.9. Oh my Lord. This is ridiculous. Find T of M and explain what this number represents. We'll take the actual function. And this is what? D or Z or W or D. Limit as T approaches infinity of 15 plus 50 e to the negative 0.1019 t. And they're wanting you to actually think about what would happen if you plugged in infinity. Well, you know that e to the 0 is equal to 1. E to the 0 is equal to 1. And e to the 1, e to the 2, e to the 3. So let's look at e to the 1. Second e to the first power. Oops. 2.7. E to the 1 is equal to 2.7. Let's do e to the 2. 7.4. One more. 7.4. E to the third. Trying to get y'all to see what's happening. What's happening to that exponent as I keep going toward infinity? What does the exponent start doing? Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. It starts growing exponentially. Look, 2 to 7.4. So let's take times 50 times 50 times 50. 50 times 3 is 150. 50 times 7 is what? 350. 50 times 20, that's what? 10,000? Well, 50 times 2 is 100. And then you add 2 zeros. That should be 10,000, shouldn't it? Y'all can check me. 20 times 50. Oh, you add a 0. 2 times 50 is 100, be 1,000. So what's happening as t approaches infinity? What's happening to the function?
It's getting
I'll wait
bigger.
for a minute. It's growing, right?
Yeah.
So t 15 plus 50, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Let's see what the question's asking. Okay. As t reaches infinity, I would say probably this is the number of minutes after being placed on the counter it takes before, well, after a while, think about this. After a while, what does a cup of coffee, let's think of a cup of coffee or hot chocolate. What will it do? It will get down to what temperature? Room temperature. Will it go below room temperature? Go ahead, Ms. Holcomb. You're the only one that's going to talk. No. So you have a limit. Even though you're going to infinity, you're not going to pass what? Room temperature. So even if we started at 65 degrees, we started at, what was it, 65 degrees? Was it 65? Somebody help me out. Yeah. 65 degrees Celsius, even though T is going to infinity, we're not going to get past room temperature. And 72 degrees Fahrenheit, I ain't got time to calculate it. 72 degrees Fahrenheit equals what Celsius? 22.22. 22.22. So I guess what they're trying to get you to ask or trying to get you to see is that eventually, and you could set your equation equal to 22.22 is equal to 15 plus 50 e to the negative 0.019 t. Let's go ahead and calculate it. Okay, let's see, we already over. But that would be the calculating, and you would get something like, I don't know what, how much was it with 34? 34 was how many minutes? 51 minutes. So I would say probably around what? 51 minutes. I would say probably maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. 1.5 to 2 hours. You would be at room temperature. Well, what does that mean? That means infinity can keep going, but what is your hot chocolate going to be at? Your hot chocolate is going to be at 22 degrees forever, unless you change the temperature of the room. And that's what they're asking you there. So whichever one, can somebody read those four right quick? It takes before there is no significant change in the temperature of the coffee. Over time, the coffee will not fall below this temperature. I would say this one. And what did we say it was? 22.2? 22.2. That's what I would say, but they're probably wanting the actual 15 plus 50 or 15 degrees. They may want 15 degrees. Let me put in 15 degrees because that's the first part of the equation. Yeah. They're wanting 15 because that's the first part of the equation. And this will go out to 0. So 15 degrees is our 22.2 degrees. So I would say probably 68 degrees Fahrenheit or whatever. That's what they're wanting, 15. Okay. Well, I don't mind that being a possible test question, but I don't care nothing about the last part. So it could be a test question. And I know we're out of time. And let me see how many test questions are left. There's only some in 2.1 left. So I'll delete these last two in section 8. And we will continue. But I'm going to finish up. We were supposed to finish up 2.4 and 2.5 today, so we'll probably finish that Tuesday. So let me go ahead and take those two out. There we go. And y'all are, I've already checked Miss Writings. Did she ever come in? I don't see her. So everybody else, y'all have a good weekend. Y'all can go ahead and read on 2.4 and 2.5 because that's what we're going to hit Tuesday. Okay?
Hubert, can I talk to you about this quiz?
Yeah, hold on just a second. Let me stop the recording.